All right. Episode 9.
Yes.
All
Wait,
right.
yes.
Welcome back to the Booth Podcast. This is episode 9. Shit's happening. Discord is awful for us right now. Well, not great. Last week it was a total fucking dumpster fire. Right now it's good. It's good on my
Ish.
end anyway. It's okay. It's okay. But
It's better than Zoom.
fucking quarantine is ruining servers, and I'm mad about it.
But I can get, but
Anyway.
we come out the other side of this. There's gonna be some beefy ass servers though, because
Oh, I
people are gonna be
hope
like,
so. You know what? You know what I was looking into the other day? Okay, first off, a podcast you need to listen to. Very
yeah,
interesting if you're into cars at all. What was his name? Jonathan Ward, Rogan podcast. The dude
yes,
runs a company called Icon,
okay,
and he runs this company, and they specialize in resto mods.
mm-hmm,
So like they'll take mainly cars from like the 50s and 60s and beef them up with new transmissions, new engines, new suspension, make them a luxury drivable daily car if you want it to be.
yeah.
And they're beautiful. Anyway, look up the company Icon. They do crazy ass shit, but um one of the
By
things
the
that
way, I
he
figured out why
was
we're having issues. I hate to interrupt you. Figure out
Go
why we're
ahead.
having issues. Can shout out to Origin. Fuck you. Um,
Hey EA, one more time. Go blow yourself.
you fixed Fallout or not Fallout. Fuck that. You fixed you fixed Battlefront. I will give you that. And Fallen Order was incredible, and you confirmed a Fallen Order 2. Great. And you're working on another Star Wars project. I'm pumped.
I'm
But
fantastic. I'm so yeah,
if
I can't
if
be
the
any happier
option,
about
if the
that.
option, if okay, public service announcement. If the option in my task manager to to disable Origin opening at startup is turned to disable, that means I don't want it to start at startup. Why is it still starting at startup, EA? That's what was causing it.
They just
I got a pop up
figured
ad that I
that
got a pop
you
up ad that
still wanted it.
I just got a pop up ad that Apex is ready to play, and then all the lag went away.
Ah, yeah, that happens. Okay. Yeah, fuck Apex. Actually that's a fun game. Anyway, but one of the things that Jonathan Ward was talking about, owner of Icon, is
Yeah.
he was talking about using these things called bloom boxes.
Okay.
I think that's what they were called. Anyways, for like I think 7 or 8 years, Google was running everything off of them.
Okay.
Like they had warehouses full of them, but that's what Google was running off of.
Okay.
And anyway, I want to say that Google was on that for like the first like 4 years that Chrome was a thing,
Okay.
and when they started messing around with like Drive and Hangouts and all that fun stuff. But it's a I don't know the specs on it, but it's a stupid beefy battery. It's probably
Mhm.
like the size of I want to say it's like probably maybe like 5 by 5 foot, and probably like 4 feet tall cube.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, it's just this big ass black box, but it can hold essentially like 4 servers worth of
Hear that,
hardware
ladies?
in it.
Big and black. Anyways, what?
Yeah, big and black. Uh, just like Connor likes his ladies, and ironically his coffee.
Yes, sir. Big and black.
A little bitter as well. Anyway, so but I want to get one. I don't know where I could find one, but if I could get one and just rig it up to hold and like have all of our servers.
Well, okay. So I was actually looking into this. If China ever decides to open back up again,
Mhm.
'cause I think that's where these are manufactured. The Raspberry Pi, single board computers. There's a company out of China that makes a chassis and like an add-on for it that it allows you to plug 4 SATA port drives into it, and it comes with like a case, so it makes it look like a really mini PC. And it's designed to set up for servers. So I was looking at a lot of people. A lot of people are using just Raspberry Pis to run just not servers for like games or whatever, but storage servers, just
Well, that's what
network
I was
drives.
thinking. This thing's big enough, like it would be one of the like awful things that I would keep as like a bachelor,
Yeah.
because I'd be like, oh, like I live by myself. I have a spare bedroom for this, and then I would just like throw it in there.
Oh, so that black box right there, right?
Hmm.
A while back, that was supposed to be turned into just a dedicated server that we could use for Minecraft or Rust or any game that we were playing at the time. But I ran into some issues with my network and the CPU on it's a little bit underpowered. So there's that. But and then I was thinking about turning it into a network drive, but because it's a Dell computer, there's a bunch of proprietary stuff on it, so I couldn't put it into a new case. It was a whole thing. The point that I'm trying to make here is that the Raspberry Pi thing is something I was looking into for just storage, because I want to start filming a lot of our adventures when we hang out. So you know,
Yeah.
fun, all that, all that jazz. I need a lot more storage because I was
Actually, they're
playing.
only probably like 3 foot by 3 foot now that I'm looking at them.
Okay, but how much they cost?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know if they exist anymore, but I want
Okay,
one. I just want
okay.
one.
Well, these Raspberry Pi servers are like $120
Oh,
minus the
yeah,
cost of
no,
hard drives.
this would be like something like it's like
Yeah,
the size of
yeah,
a washing machine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So like what I would do is I like that would be one of the awful things I would keep in my garage as a
That's
bachelor.
fair.
I'd be like,
That's fair.
yeah, I need one of these. And then I could just like sell off half of it like on the internet and be like, "Hey, do you need like a private server for your
Yeah.
porn addiction?" Like it's fine. Like just run it on there.
That's
Yeah.
my Pornhub intro.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, no, that's dope. But no, what I was saying, what's cool about the Raspberry Pi thing is that hard drive technology has come such a long way that Barracuda, the company, they
Mhm.
make dedicated server hard drives. They have a line of dedicated server hard drives. Their largest one is one hard drive, 12 terabytes. So you could put four of those in there. Now
Damn.
that would not be 48 uh, terabytes of storage. That would be 24 because what you do, the way that I would set it up is you raid. I forgot the name of the raid, but it's one of the raids that you combine half of the drives you have into one giant storage pool, so that way your files are shared equally amongst that half, and then it's copied onto the other half. So it's the
Okay.
safest. It's a mixture of this. I think it's 10. It's RAID 10.
So
It's
in
rated
case
10,
you
so it's a
have one
combination of one and
fail,
zero.
yeah,
In
in
case
case
you
you
have
have
one
one
drive,
fail, you're
right?
still left with the other two with the combined files.
So
So you
essentially what
essentially
happens
have
is
two
it would take.
copies of the
Right.
same
So you
file.
take
Yeah.
you take two you split them in half and you combine those two. That makes 24. And then you
Mhm.
have 24 gigabytes or terabytes of storage that um you put your files onto, and then it copies it to the other 24 terabytes that you had. So you'd only have 24 terabytes of storage, but you're backing it up. Get albeit in the same place. So it'd probably be better if we bought two of these things and then backed up files at one location, put the other one at a different location, back the files there. That would be and then have one that was stored in like Google Cloud, something
Yeah.
like that. Because that's always your best option. Have two physical copies, one at your main office, one at another physical location, then have another copy in the cloud. That
Yeah.
triangle is the Illuminati, but it's the safest way to store data files.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So,
At this point in my life, I don't have anything that important. Like everything I have, I can just go
oh,
find another one of.
the more podcast files we start to build up,
Oh,
the
for sure. Yes, it's going to happen. I'm going to be like, well,
and the more complex these
all
become,
right. Oh, yeah.
you know.
No, pretty soon we're going to have like a I don't maybe like a stripper pole like right here.
Oh,
And we'll just have someone dancing as the
I was gonna
podcast
say
goes.
you're
They're not
that
even
bored
going
that
to
you're gonna.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that they're here. But it's just going to be happening.
I was gonna say that you were so bored that you're gonna take up pole dancing, which
Well,
is
I
an
mean,
interesting
I've
move.
heard it's a hell of a workout.
So actually, speaking of employment and unemployment, something really cool happened.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got an email today from my former employer,
Okay.
and they essentially reached out and they said, "Hey, in this difficult time, we're wanting to help both our current staff and former staff." And apparently, I fall into that former staff because I quit that job the week before I worked at a movie theater. I quit that job the week before everything hit the fan, right?
Hmm.
And whenever I was on my Disney trip, that company ended up firing all their part-time employees because they were shut down and they didn't want to keep them on payroll, so they fired them all because they can do that.
Hmm.
Um, but they sent out an email today, and I apparently qualified for that former employee status. And essentially, what they did is they said that they were working with other companies, because they had to fire all their part-time employees. They're working with other chain companies to employ that are still open to employ you if you need employment at this time, which I thought was really cool.
I see.
So they gave you a list of employers that they're working with, and it's essentially that you get put. The program is essentially that you just get put at the top of the stack of applications. So
Okay.
you have priority, and you have priority, and you have like a note of recommendation from the movie theater company.
Gotcha.
So yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah,
They're
that's
trying to
nice.
help people out.
That's nice.
Yeah, I know you're not unemployed, but I'm just saying that
I
was
am not.
cool.
I am luckily still working. Um, yeah, we're actually very busy.
Which is I mean, my dad is too, and I figured out why you're still open.
What?
You can be classified as construction, which is seen as a
I think we fall under transport, actually.
I don't want to know why.
Well, here's why. Because apparently anyone that maintains, whatever, uh, any sort of service vehicle
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
still falls under transportation.
Which is still an essential, so you're good there.
Exactly. So, like, I don't
So
know.
my dad does HVAC, right?
Yeah.
And his company is still seen as essential, but they're building a pet. They're working on two. He's the project manager for two projects right now. One's a pet resort, and one's a bank downtown. Now, given the bank downtown, I'll agree that's an important job. But the pet resort, like
Yeah.
he was
Not that one,
him and
Chief. Sorry.
him and the owner of the HVAC company were talking. They're like, if there's more than 5 people, if there's any other contractors there, we're not working. He told that to the owner, the person that's building the resort. He said straight up, we're not going to do any work unless we're the only crew that's on site at the time.
There you go.
And she's like, all right, fine. I need this done. And they're like, all right, fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Money's still coming in the door.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was kind of weird. I was told that apparently a lot of the bigger fabrication shops shut down, um, or have been like regulated a shit ton. So it's like, okay, we can't have more than X people in the shop.
Again, you're 4 people, so I don't
We're
think,
4 people, including the owner. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. We're gonna continue. So we're still continuing at a
Yeah.
high level of efficiency, but a lot of these other shops have cut down to like 5 guys in the shop, and instead of the 15 that they had. So
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
anyway, so a lot of the business from the other fabrication shops in town have been shifted over to us. So we still got jobs. I don't know.
That's fair.
I
I
mean,
mean, I guess, yeah.
I'm not
That's still,
complaining.
yeah, no, it's money in the door.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, no, that's at least you're still working, and that's one thing my parents said. It's like, hey, at least both my parents still have their jobs. They're both
Yeah,
still working.
still working.
It could be a lot worse for sure.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, some people have it pretty damn rough, and
Pretty damn rough.
that sucks. It really, really
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
I mean, like Abby, for instance, like she's a waitress, and her roommate, and they have no money.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, you still got to
But
pay
weren't they living
rent.
on campus?
No, no, they got an
Oh, I thought they were
apartment.
living on campus. Oh shit.
No, they got an apartment.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I mean, obviously, the likelihood of this happening back to back years would be insane. But it
Well,
would have been interesting to see was at if I was living at my townhouse, because
I mean,
it's
yeah,
technically on
but
campus living, but it's through a separate company,
mhm,
and I don't think because I don't know.
I don't know. But I don't know, like for them, that's one person or a couple people that I'm like, oh shit, like that's rough.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like they were pissed off at me and like the system a little bit. They were like, "You
because
still
you're
have a
still working.
job?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I still have a job." And they were pissed
Have you
off.
have
Go
you
ahead.
bought stock yet?
I haven't bought stock yet. I think I'm gonna wait until May,
Me
ride it
too.
out
So
for
I'm doing.
another month.
Yeah,
Um,
Just see what the numbers are.
I'm also did I show you what I got in?
Your guitar body?
Yes. This thing is fucking beautiful. I'm so excited about this.
Only you would be happy about a busted up guitar body.
Motherfucker, Relics guitars are cool as shit, and you just need to recognize that.
Is that
Um,
purposefully beat up or was that?
yes, I paid
Oh,
for this. I
no,
paid for this.
I meant is that did that come off of a guitar or is that a brand new body that was just beat up
This was a
to make it look?
body, and I found a guy that beats the shit out of guitars professionally, and
Uh,
yeah. So
what do you call
I
that?
relict,
Bokeh. Well,
relict.
it's bokeh on cars.
It's patina on cars.
Patina. Bokeh is photography.
Correct.
Dude, my fucking brain's gone.
But I ordered all the hardware like bridge tuners, random ass screws or whatever the fuck, backplate, all that fun shit. I have a neck coming in the mail, and I have a guy from Sweden making pickups.
There you go.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I'm just gonna get my refund from IndyCar and invest 100 into airline companies.
That works.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's the reason why I haven't put any money in the stock market yet.
that's fair.
But yeah, as soon as May rolls around, I'm gonna, you know,
Rip into
go
that.
crazy. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it'll be
That's
fun.
just, that's of course assuming we're bouncing back from this.
We will. I don't know what the timeline of that will be,
Yeah.
but we will bounce back from it. And I had a very, very long conversation with my dad last night. Um, he's still under the impression that it's just a strain of the flu, which yes, technically it is, but I'm
Well, it's more
sorry.
of a strain. It's more of a strain of a common cold. Common cold's a COVID. It's more related to the common cold than it is the flu, actually.
Yes, but it's weird. Like we don't know what it
It's
is.
just, and it's more or less just a version of the. Oh, you got it. It's
No, I
just a
don't got. I
version
was
of.
clearing my throat. God damn it. Um,
It's a version. It's more of a version of the common cold that we just as that hadn't made the jump to humans yet. So we hadn't built us as a population hasn't built up antibodies for it.
yes, I agree with you. But anyway, he's convinced that it's just another virus that we don't need to worry about. And I'm like, Dad, um,
America number one.
I was like, I don't think that you're right about that. Anyways, we went back and forth a lot. And anyways, I was like, he basically has a mindset of like, I don't give a shit about it because like he doesn't.
Yeah.
And anyway, um, which is a little frustrating because it's like, okay, like I get it, like you want like the economy and like society and everything to be back to normal, but it's like we're not going to get back to normal unless people like accept the fact that this is something different. We do need to take proper precautions as far as we know what to do. And yes, it sucks, but at the same time, like we're not going to get past it unless we take the proper precautions to get past it. Does that make sense?
What I'm scared about is what's the normal we're going to return to.
Uh,
As far as not the economy, but as a society. Because while I think that this could go far to unify us as a mindset, it could also go a lot to separate us as far as compassion and understanding. And what I mean by that is like how long is it going to be before I don't get that that dirty look whenever I offer to hold open a door for somebody whenever they are struggling to get out of the supermarket, or how long is it going to be before I can extend my hand in a handshake greeting somebody without getting a look of disgust? How long is it before I can embrace somebody with a hug without them spraying me down with Lysol? Like that's what I'm saying. How long is it going to be before we go back to that norm? And is that norm going to shift? Is it going to we're going to have to go back through this whole process of when is it
I
okay to be with people and
Yeah.
whatnot?
Well, that's another thing. I think even after we are, told by the federal government, "Hey, you can go outside. Hey, everything's normal again. Hey, whatever the fuck happened." We got past
By the
it.
way, I'm gonna be pushing every single fucking fishing limit when that happens. Anyway, continue.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Um anyway, go shoot someone's dog in a backyard with a bow. It's fine.
Gladly.
Uh anyway, you could do that now. What are you talking about? So my concern with that is, and what I'm kind of, I guess, I don't know. What I'm feeling is it's probably going to be another 2 months before. I mean, depending on what kind of area you're in, because like people in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama,
Mississippi's still open
yeah, Mississippi's like fuck it,
completely.
we're fine. The quote from the fucking, I don't know, it was the governor or whoever
Governor, we're not Louisiana, we're not
we're
Boston.
not California was
No,
the
no, she said it was three
yeah, it
states.
was multiple
The full,
things,
yeah,
but it was like we're not Louisiana, we're not, what was it?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, and we're not California. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what the fuck, you
or it might have been New
crazy
York. I don't
bitch?
know, but it was one of those northeastern
I
states.
have no idea. Anyway, like that was just a crazy thing to me, and I'm like, everyone's going
Yeah.
to die there. Like they
Oh yeah,
all
but
have heart disease.
Sweden's an interesting thing though, because Sweden's also open right now. They're pretty laxed on their quarantine situation.
Yeah,
But what's interesting with Sweden is that while their case numbers are pretty moderate, like in the mix, right? They're definitely not low. But they're definitely not high. They're pretty much in the middle. But their death rate's super low. Like people are getting it, but they're just not dying from it, which what I thought was
they're in
pretty interesting.
Sweden, dude. People don't die
I,
there.
that's
What
fair.
the fuck are you talking about? They're fucking beautiful people who just don't die. Um,
And
yeah.
then all of Italy's just dead.
Yeah, what everyone smokes like a goddamn chimney in Italy.
Yeah, and it's not
Everybody's
out of the
smoking a
norm.
pack a day, and like
It's not out of the norm to see multiple generations living in the same house in Italy. That's pretty normal there.
exactly. They have
Yeah,
like they had, I don't, we'll see, one of the oldest
this
generations of
generation.
people.
Yeah,
Like so many old people in that
yeah,
country, and
yeah,
I mean, if like the regular flu went over there, it's probably going to wipe out a similar number.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure.
I mean,
Scary.
let's be honest.
Speaking about the economy, did you see some big news coming out of the Formula One world?
No, what happened?
Williams is cutting pay to some of their tertiary employees. F1, the company itself is doxing a lot of pay to a lot of employees at F1, like the actual company itself. And most of the teams have changed their factories to producing respirators. So instead of building cars, they're building respirators. Mercedes started that front. The Canadian Grand Prix also got postponed, and they were supposed to hold a meeting over Skype or something about what they want to do for the rest of the season. We haven't heard anything about that. That meeting was supposed to be like yesterday or the day before that, but we haven't heard any official news about it yet.
I know this will hurt finances extremely
It's not
bad.
gonna it's not gonna kill the company though.
No, 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 no.
Yeah,
What I'm proposing is that we just send F1, let them do the races, have as minimum amount of people as we can there.
yeah.
And yeah, it'll suck, but
But the thing
make
was
it
that they
more
were planning
accessible
that.
to watch.
It's always on ESPN.
I mean, it's already accessible, but I'm saying like fucking, I don't know, like let them fucking do the
Like,
race.
yeah. Well, they tried to do that, but then it was already in the paddock. Like the guy from McLaren tested positive, so then it was like, okay, well, it's already here,
All
so you
right,
can't
well, so
exactly
that
keep it a
dickhead doesn't
quarantine
need to be
situation.
running around the fucking racetrack. He needs to fucking go
Yeah,
home. Now,
yeah.
he can go fucking take his private jet and quarantine in that for 2 weeks, and then he can land. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but fucking do the race. Just don't sell tickets, do the race.
Or pull a Dana White and buy a fucking private island to have your fight.
Fucking buy a private island, or just call the government and be like, "Hey Trump, I need a
It was
ship.
so
I need a battleship to do this
No,
fight on."
did I not send that to you? I don't know if he bought it or he was saying that he found someone who owned a private island, but he said that 249
Shit,
is
dude.
happening on a
Even if
private
I
island.
owned like a mansion in some like remote island, I'd be like, "Yo, you like come do the fight on my balcony. Like
No, no, no. That's
have a
legitimately what
fucking
he said. He said
blast."
that he's found a private island that UFC 249 is happening this weekend.
Good,
This weekend it's still happening.
good.
That's why I was yeah. Now Khabib's not fighting. Someone else is fighting Tony Ferguson, so that we're gonna have to wait on that one again. But
Fine.
then there's still a lot of undercards. There's still a lot of undercards
There's
that
a
are fighting.
ton of undercards.
So
Um,
I'm actually excited to have a sporting event this weekend. And what's the Australian dude that got killed by the stingray?
what?
Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin. His daughter's getting married this Saturday.
I thought it was an alligator.
No,
Was it a
no, no, it was a
stingray?
stingray. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
chest.
Okay.
His daughter's getting married this weekend.
Good
It's gonna
for
be
her.
televised. Her brother's walking her down the aisle.
That
Been
sounds
watching a lot of
fucking
Animal Planet.
horrible.
I was watching a lot of Animal Planet,
I
and
don't
they
want my
keep showing
fucking
the
wedding
ad.
televised.
She wanted it
That
because
sounds
she was
fucking
always on the show with
horrible.
him. It was always a thing.
Sounds horrible.
It wasn't forced. They chose
I
to
mean,
do it
if
that
it's
way.
their choice, that's fine.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
don't know. Like, is it weird that I have like an ideal wedding in my head?
My ideal weddings has bounced around so many times.
Well,
I'm probably
here's
gonna.
my
I'm probably just
ideal
gonna.
wedding, right? I don't want to have anyone there like at all. I just want like
Yeah,
maybe parents and like
yeah,
maid of honor, best man.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah.
super close family. Go to the courthouse, elope, and then go fucking have a big ass goddamn party. Like rager. Just like put everything in the fucking party and we just party our asses off for a day.
That's fair. Just
Yeah.
pull a
Nobody
fucking.
wants to see the ceremony. Who the fuck wants to be there for that?
That's fair.
Yeah,
What's
everyone
the
just wants to drink and
pull
fucking
a
go
Gatsby and
crazy.
just get a mansion in Long
Yeah.
Island and just fuck off?
Fucking Airbnb a mansion. Fuck it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Fuck it.
true.
Yeah. 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 Just go to Airbnb, find like a 20 like bedroom house and be like, "All right, we're going to party here." Like you just rent it for 2 days and then you hop on a plane, go to your
And then
honeymoon.
think about it. And then think about it. Everybody at your party, they can all also have their baby showers at the same time because they would have all conceived at the same time.
Are you implying that everyone's just banging at this house?
I mean, a 22-bedroom mansion. I mean, what else are you supposed to do with those bedrooms? Am I right?
You got
Self
to
fuck.
break them in, right? Oh, we're awful.
Don't worry, Matt. I'm
Um,
gonna make sure to go to the master bedroom where you know inevitably will end up crashing, and I will make
mhm,
sure to personally have sex on that bed for you.
to really break it in.
Yes, and then don't
Okay.
tell you for 6 months later.
Don't tell me for 6 months. So what happens when like a strange rash pops up on my ass and I'm like, "Hey Connor, what happened?"
Well, but remember, you would have already built up the antibodies for that.
From where? You wink. You're like, you already have them.
You felt the tiny prick, Matthew?
Remember when you woke up in the middle of the night in my house? Yeah, that's what that was.
Oh my
Remember when you woke
god.
up at 3 a.m.? You could have sworn somebody else was in the room. Guess what? There was.
I like the way you smell when you sleep.
Oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're so wrong.
So you want to go camping?
Oh my god.
Oh lord.
So you're telling me you want to go camping in a secluded area with high-powered bows?
Yeah.
One tent, no tents.
No tents, just rash. Go.
No tents, just rash. Full send, motherfucker. Full send.
By the way, I found the bow that I'm gonna get for
Nice.
hunting.
What you got?
Yeah. It's a bear's it's one of Bear's lower end bows. But I showed my dad a bunch of bows because I don't know if you know this, but he bow hunted a ton when he was in high school.
Okay.
Like that was all he did. Him and his buddies did. They would bow hunt and bow fish. Um, but I have it in my Amazon cart. A Bow Cruiser X. It's right-handed. It goes from 5 pounds to 70 pounds. Draw weight between 12. Jesus Christ. Draw length adjustments between 12 inches and 30 inches. Um, and it's the full kit. Comes with sight, quiver, and it already comes with a peephole and a D loop already in it, and then it also has a stabilizer. But I showed my dad 3 bows that I was bouncing between, and he he said that his first bow that he bought for himself was a bear, and that bear's been around for forever, and he hadn't heard of the other companies that was bringing to him. So he's like, go with the bear one because even though it's cheap, it's the cheapest one on the list. It'll be fine. It's a
Oh,
bear. You'll be good. So I'm gonna go with that one.
there you go.
It's really adjustable. It's one of the what I found is that when you're talking about bows, a lot of the lower end bows try to be as all in one as they can. So they're going to be the ones that are the most adjustable.
Okay.
But they're just and what makes them cheap is not the materials they're made of or the quality of the bow. It's that they might be cast instead of, or they might be forged instead of, or no, cast instead of forged. So it might the tolerances might not be as tight,
Yeah.
or they might be using technology from 2018 instead of from 2020, a
Yeah.
little bit older technology, but they're still going to work just as well.
I mean, I
So
think anything in the last probably 5 years is gonna be
oh yeah,
all just as
that
good.
bow, the bow that I told you about, dropped in 2018.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
the other company I was looking at was Mission, two from Mission. It was the Mission Hammer and the Mission. Oh, what was the other one? Mission something. Forgot the other one, but the hammer was very much like the one I just told you about. Oh, the Mission Switch. That's what it was. Maybe it was the Switch. I think I forget. But it was the brand new Mission that just dropped. It
Okay.
was in that kind of price range as well. And the
Gotcha.
hammer was very. It was so the hammer and the Cruiser X are these two bows that are designed to be the bow that you give your kid for Christmas whenever they're just starting out bow hunting, and then they grow up with, and then they use when they're adults, right?
Gotcha.
So it's supposed to be that bow that lasts forever because, like I said, goes from 5 pounds draw weight up to 70 pounds, and then goes from 12 inches of draw to 30 inches of draw. So
Wow.
it's got that range, and it's a 28 axle to axle, so it's pretty compact. I think mine right now is a 28, so it's pretty compact, which is good for deer stands. A little bit more difficult for stabilization when you're holding the bow itself, but you can compensate that by just using. Most stabilizers will compensate whatever torquing you'll get from having a shorter bow.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, so I'm going with the, and it's on Amazon.
Even
Comes
better.
ships completely set up. Even if it's not timed right, I can just take it to an archery shop here and get it fixed.
Yeah.
So and it's really easy to adjust weight and draw length on these bows. So I can tune it myself. So that'll be all good. And all the additions to it, like I said, the peephole and the D loop come pre-installed on it, and then it comes with a bunch of other accessories. So yeah, I want to get. I'm not saying before we start hunting together, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Hopefully.
But before we go to Hawaii, like our dream to go to Hawaii and hunt the axis deers, before we do that, or my dream that I'm forcing you to come along with me
I'm
on,
I'm totally cool
um,
going with you.
I want to get Garmin's new site.
Okay.
Garmin made a bow site that's a rangefinder site built into one. Essentially, it uses AR. So what it does is it's literally like a red dot scope. Okay,
Okay.
so it has a rangefinder on it, and there's a trigger that is just below where your hand would rest on the handle. So you pull it up, you draw back, and you look at the deer or whatever you're shooting. Right, you press the trigger to initiate the rangefinder. It finds the range, compensates for angle, and then puts a point where you should shoot.
That sounds like
Does all the
cheating.
calculations. So you have to
That
calibrate it
sounds like
once.
cheating, man.
You
You got
calibrate it once and you're
hacks.
good.
You got hacks. Oh
So I'm going to
no.
be using aimbot. Um,
All right, so Connor is downloading aimbot before you go to Hawaii,
but it's
and
1,000 bucks.
it's
Well, no,
fine.
there's two of them. They have a lower end. They have a lower end one, which is 800 bucks, and
That's
then
a
they have.
crisp 800. What are you gonna do?
It's going to be more expensive than anything else on the bow. I'm aware of this, but what all the bow hunters on YouTube are saying is spend all your money on the accessories, not on the bow. Buy
Mm,
a cheap bow, put a bunch of expensive accessories on it because the accessories are what makes it better. A bow's a bow's a
interesting.
bow. So yeah,
Interesting.
and it's 2 in 1. So I mean, I'm gonna have to get a rangefinder for one, before I get it. But that's one less thing you have to pack because
What
it's
if
a
we kept
rangefinder on
that
it.
same concept, like with bows, like buy a cheap bow and then a bunch of expensive accessories, like with cars? It's like, yeah, I got a Miata, but I have a $7,000 turbo in it. It's fine. It's the turbo itself. It's twice as much as the car. You know.
Did you build the engine? Nah.
No,
you
no, I just dumped
turn
some Lucas in it and it was fine. It started right up.
you turn the car on. You're on the dyno. Hit 7,000 RPM and it shoots a piston straight clean
Yeah, just clean through
through.
the fucking hood. Just boom.
Just
It's like, what just happened? Did a piston
not.
go off? You're like, no, 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 no. It was the piston.
Was that a push rod? No, it
Nope,
was the block.
nope. That was that was the block actually just gave out. Ah,
But
oh
no,
Jesus,
but
dude.
that's what they're saying. So, but the difference, legitimately the only difference between the $800, the $200 difference between the $800 Garmin sight and $1,000 Garmin sight is the fact that the $1,000 Garmin sight can compensate for the weight of your arrows, so you can have different arrow setups. And the $800 one just has one arrow setup that you can, but both of them you can like preset that arrow setup. So you can say I'm using this arrow weight, this grain, this broadhead, and it'll compensate then for that arrow weight as well.
So can you change the arrow weight on the $800 one?
Yeah, you can preset it for.
Then
You
buy
can
the
always.
$800 one.
That's yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what everybody's saying. It's like, is it nice to be able to like quickly switch? Because like, let's say you
Are
preset
you
your
going to
arrows
be
and your butt.
changing your arrows on the
No,
fly though? No.
legitimately, what I'm doing is buying 12 arrows. Or how many? Yeah, 12. No, hold on. Yes, I'm buying 12 arrows.
Because,
Okay,
like, in the
four of
length of
them.
a hunt, like, you really only have the opportunity to shoot, like, maybe four.
Exactly. So
Maybe.
I'm buying whenever I buy the bow, I'm gonna buy 4 arrows. I'm gonna set up 4 of them for field points, 4 of them for preseason broadheads, which are just broadheads that are designed to go to for target shooting. So they're softer, less sharp, but they're just but they weigh the same as normal broadheads,
Yeah.
and then 4 for broadheads. And so I'm just gonna have it tuned for broadheads and then just compensate whenever I'm doing field tips
Gotcha.
in off season. Because in preseason and during season, I'll be just using the same exact weight, so then it won't matter. So, but it's all going to be on the same arrows. It's just the tips that'll weigh differently. But yeah, so it
Gotcha.
compensates for the only thing it doesn't compensate for is wind or weather,
I
essentially.
wouldn't want it to.
That's the next one. That's the one's coming out next year.
I don't want it to compensate for that. If I'm fucking bow hunting, I want it to feel like I'm a fucking caveman. I don't want to be like, let's hit a button and see how many inches it is away. Boop.
Well, you need a rangefinder. That is one thing you do need.
Okay, yeah, you need a rangefinder. I'll give you that.
Because
But I
the
don't want it
bow.
to be like, hey, you have a 7 mile per hour headstrong wind. You're like, motherfucker, like shut up. Like, let me
Now
figure that
bow.
out.
Okay,
Throw
most
some grass next to you. See how fast the wind is.
the thing is that most rangefinders will compensate for your angle, right? The angle at which you're standing from your target that
Mhm.
you selected on the rangefinder, even bow hunting ones. But the thing the Garmin does is the difference is that the Garmin one then tells you where to shoot. So the normal rangefinder would just be like, okay, you're at
You're bringing
35 yards.
aimbot into the forest.
You're onto a Hawaiian island. There's a
Into the
difference.
fucking forest on a Hawaiian island. You're bringing aimbot.
There's your target's 35 miles away. You're at a 40. That's well. You're at
If
a
you buy that, I'm
12-degree
gonna
angle.
roast you so fucking hard.
But I'm gonna be the one sitting with the meat.
Or you could just get good.
Well, that's why I'm gonna get good before I buy it. I'm not gonna
Then
invest a
don't
thousand.
fucking buy it. Save the $800. Buy a bunch of other cool fucking accessories. Keep some fucking money to get your ass to Hawaii or to
That's
go on
fair.
a couple other hunting trips. Don't fucking buy a
Don't worry.
fucking aimbot sight.
Before the end of this whole thing, I'm gonna own 70% of Delta anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna get free free plane tickets anyway. Um, no, but like seriously, like don't fucking buy an aimbot sight. Just get good. Just get good. That's like having like a fucking laser pointer on like a pool cue and be like, hit the ball here, this hard, and then it'll be like, dunk, dunk, bloop. And then you'll be like, I made it, fucking did it. Everyone would just look at you like, fuck you, bro. Like, fucking just get good. Just be good at it. Like,
Oh, did I also tell you it has a built-in peep sight? So when you're looking down the sight, there's a bunch of blue arrows in a circle around the red dot. And as long as and it's on 2 different planes of glass, so this is to compensate for angle, so you always have the same anchor point when you're shooting. So you have to line up the red dot with the center of the blue arrows, and then you shoot. So the red point is set up for where you need to shoot to hit the target at the range that it's at,
How does your
and then
dad feel about you buying an aimbot for your bow?
I haven't told him about the aimbot
Yeah,
bow yet.
don't fucking buy it. He's gonna look at you like you're fucking retarded. He's gonna be like, "Are you serious?" He'll be like, "You want that? You want that?" Like, I would be okay if someone bought that if it's like an old dude who's like an already like seasoned bow hunter and he's just feeling lazy. Like that's fine. Like that's fine. But no, man. Like you can't start out with that.
I'm not going to.
You're giving
I'm
yourself a
using
crutch before any injury is what you're doing.
I'm gonna use the 3-point sight and a normal rangefinder when I get the bow.
Just stay with the 3-point sight.
I might upgrade it. I'm actually looking at a regular 3-point
Good.
sight
Get a
that's a little
regular
bit
three
higher
point
end.
sight.
That's higher end than the one that's gonna come with the bow that
Is
everybody
there any like
suggests.
high end, not like, is there any like experienced bow hunters that use that and are like, yeah, you should buy this, that aren't being paid by Garmin?
Actually, there's a lot of them, but it's what you said. It's just old dudes that get lazy.
Yeah, it's old dudes that get lazy. Don't fucking buy that shit. Jesus Christ. That's like
What? I
teaching
just
someone how to drive with fucking Tesla autopilot. It's like, yeah, the highway's scary, but just click this button and you'll be fine. Like, uh, don't do that
what
shit.
Matthew? I still have to
Don't
pull the
do
bow
that
back.
shit.
I still have to pull the bow back and release it and not torque the bow. And if it's windy, it could miss.
And then you're sitting there cursing out a fucking Garmin scope instead of just being like, I missed it. Like, you're sitting there like, fuck this fucking piece of shit, it's garbage, and you just fucking kick it off into the ocean. And then you go back and you spend another $800 on another site that you hopefully works. Or we get back and you spend like 4 days like going back and forth with fucking customer service. Hope to God that they come back. And with Garmin and be like, hey, like, your shitty fucking shit didn't work, and I missed this fucking axis deer like 9 times. And I'll be like, well, sir, did you try this? Did you hit restart? Did you turn it off and then back on again? And then you'll be like,
It's kind of
oh,
hard when it's at the bottom of the
Jesus,
Pacific Ocean.
Jesus Christ. And then you're going to spend another $800, or maybe you'll get a free one if you're lucky. And then you're going to try it all over again. We're going to go back to Hawaii. You're going to miss another 9 fucking deer. And then I'm going to be sitting there with a fucking cooler of meat. And you're going to be like, God damn it. And I'll be like, yeah, well, you were fucking cursing out the fucking alien tech that was in your fucking bow. I was actually killing shit.
The aim hacks.
Yeah. While you were fucking troubleshooting, fucking aimbot on your bow, I was actually shooting people. It was great. Yes, now we're hunting
People.
people. We've upgraded. The second trip will be for humans.
Infested, Corona infested people.
Yeah, we're gonna go for corona infested individuals.
Man, I got you heated on this
I'm
Garmin site.
telling you, man, don't fucking buy that shit. That's some garbage. That
Hey,
is
there's a bunch of
garbage.
there's a lot of gun sites that do that.
Yeah, it's a firearm. You're not doing anything more than fucking squeezing a trigger.
But
I'm
the
convinced that
pressure.
anyone, no, fucking no. I'm convinced that anyone with minor experience with firearms, if you know what to do breathing wise and what kind of focus you need, you can be accurate. You can be accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Call of Duty taught me, at least.
Okay. No, but you can be accurate with a firearm, a traditional firearm,
That's fair.
if you just put a little bit of practice into it. Bow hunting is a totally different, like, you need to be fucking good, and you
And to
need to
be
be
fair,
good under pressure.
given a lot of the archery I did was under pressure, but I did do a lot of archery growing up.
Well, that's good, and I'm not saying you need to start under pressure, but I'm
But
saying you need to be good regardless, and
yes,
then you
right.
also need to be good under the pressure of, okay, if I miss this shot, I'm going to potentially be killed by an elk. Like, you know,
That's fair.
you know,
That's fair. All right, fine.
you know,
I'll only get the Garmin.
just get a
How about
rangefinder.
this?
I'm
How about
fine with a
yes, yes, yes.
rangefinder because
I'm getting a rangefinder.
because
That
like
I'm getting a rangefinder. That's
I
for
think
sure.
it's a good skill to have, regardless of being like, okay, I think that's about this far, and then you sight it in, and you're like, okay, I'm looking at this far, and then you're like, okay, here's what I have to do to make that shot.
Yeah,
Because
that's
like
fair.
I break that into like a golf analogy, because like while I'm playing golf, I'll be like, okay, I got 80 yards to the green. Okay, I could use this club for an 80-yard shot. I can use the same club for a 110-yard shot, but I have to do things differently
Yeah,
using the
that's fair.
same club. With bow hunting, you get technically one club,
Yeah,
maybe two if you want to take like arrows into account. If like you have a specific arrow for a specific yardage, you're like, I know exactly what it's gonna do. Maybe, maybe.
that's getting into some black magic the shit there, but
Okay,
yeah,
I don't know much about bow hunting, but what I'm saying, maybe, maybe it differs a little bit depending on the hardware they're using. But that also being said, you should be able to look at something and be like, I think it's about this, and then you use your rangefinder to verify, and be like, okay, I know what to do for this 50-yard shot, 80-yard
yeah,
shot, whatever it is. You know?
yeah. I think so. The bow that I have now, that's gonna become my bow fishing bow. I'm rolling no sight on that because there's no use in having a sight on a bow fishing
No.
bow because you're at the longest 20 yards, if that, from the
Maybe,
fish.
maybe.
If you're in the Caribbean and you can see straight through the water and then some.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know. Some
I've
of the
been
most
watching.
fun I had was I went gar bow fishing
Yeah,
in the Gulf
yeah,
with at night actually
mm-hmm,
with headlamps
yep,
just off the front of like this little like it was maybe like 14, 15 foot aluminum boat. It was me
yeah.
and did you ever meet Jared?
I've heard stories. I haven't met him.
Okay, so it was Jared. He was on a fucking or I had the trolling motor and I was just kicking the trolling motor left and right, getting us to go through this fucking marsh. And I had a headlamp and he had a headlamp and he's looking off the back, I'm looking off the front, and we just had fucking just uh bow fishing setups and we were just and then just pulling it
Were you
in.
using compound or longbows?
Compound.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was probably overkill, but we had fun.
I I mean, yeah, my that one's the 35 pounder max because it's a
I
Genesis.
think like I want to say I used his like old like junior bow. I think it was like a
A
maybe
lot of
30 pound.
a lot of people use their junior bows because
It was
there's
light
actually
as
states
shit.
there's actually states that put a maximum for poundage.
Hmm.
And and then the opposite for that for bow hunting, a lot of states have a minimum for the poundage that you can put while hunting. There's a minimum because they estimate that if you're shooting something at that poundage or anything below that poundage, the arrow's not going to penetrate deep enough to kill it, but it's going
Yeah.
to penetrate it deep enough to make it stress and go through pain.
Yeah, then you're just fucking up wildlife for no reason.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So Texas, it's 40 pounds. You have to
that's
shoot over 40
reasonable.
pounds, and then that's the exact. I think 40. I think 50 pounds is the maximum for bow fishing for poundage. Could be calling that number out
I
of my
mean, at
ass, but
that
I think
point,
that's
you're
it.
just getting like
But there's no
past the
point
real.
because the whole point of bow fishing is it's essentially spear fishing with a bow. You want to stake the fish in the air to stay in the fish, not
Yeah,
to go
you
through the
don't want to
fish.
go. You don't want to get any
Right,
pass through on that. Yeah.
right. And there's a lot of people that a lot of people bow fish the Asian carp
Okay.
because it's just shooting fish in a barrel at that point. You get some Asian carp that are feeding,
Mhm.
and it's just field day because there's one tag per day on any Asian carp that's over 33 inches. Asian carp that are below 33 inches, it's unlimited, as many as you want. So if
Damn.
you can find a pocket of them that are below 33 feeding, it's just after just go. And I found a cookbook for them, which I'm kind of intrigued of because they're usually seen as trash fish, but apparently a guy's figured out a way to cook them that it tastes good. I don't know. I'll be interested to try that. But yeah,
I don't know. I've heard that multiple things are trash fish, and I've eaten them, and they've been pretty damn tasty.
yeah.
So,
Hey, if you put enough hot sauce on something, I think it's pretty good.
I mean, I'm not even talking about just dumping hot sauce on it. Like, fucking, like, we weren't supposed to do it, but we ate shark one time. Pretty
Depends upon where you
tasty.
are. No,
Pretty tasty.
there are some sharks that the actual meat of the shark is good. But the problem comes, and this is what a lot of environmentalists, I think, kind of forgot about, or like a lot of the ones that don't necessarily, that they say they're environmentalists, but they don't understand conservation.
Hmm.
They banned the shark trade because they were just using the fins. But if they implemented regulations that you had to use a certain percentage of the shark itself in order to be legal, because you can still, in the state of Florida, you can still buy shark tags. So it is still legal to fish and kill sharks. And that's actually the only way that you can confirm state records, is
Okay.
you have to kill the shark. I'm watching a little YouTube docuseries because I found this kind of young guy. I think he's like 25. Um, He's got over 1 million subscribers, and all he does is fish. Like
Hmm.
that's his entire channel premise. He fishes. He's fished a lot in Austin actually, and I've actually found a couple spots that I did not know you could go fish at, that he's fished at, and it's legal to fish at. So I got some new fishing holes, some new fishing spots to try out.
There
Because
you go.
just a little side tangent. Something that's awesome about Austin is because of the river downtown is so clean, you can actually get really beautiful bass down there. Because like bass that, like, there's usually the mutant urban bass, right? That's
Hmm.
all like disgusting, trashy, three heads of mutation, whatever. But he was pulling out gorgeous olive green basses in the heart of downtown Austin,
Hmm.
like right next to the public library, like in the middle of construction. He
Wow.
says Austin just has really clean water because they've been really, because it's spring fed, and they've been really good at keeping the water clean. So that's why you have this. Um, so that's pretty cool. But going back to what I was saying, I'm watching him right now, and he went down to Florida a year ago to hang out with his buddy who fishes sharks for a living. Keep in mind, doesn't kill them. He's catching and releasing. It's just a hobby, right? I say do it for a living. He's a professional fisherman, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what he
he's a
does, like
guide.
for
Yeah.
competition. Yeah, right. And he said that the day before they, or 2 days before they had gotten there, they caught the state record for the longest. Let me throw a shark species out there: sandbar shark, which are
Okay.
just little bottom. And it was like 60 something inches, 68 pounds, or just something. It was massive, right?
Damn.
Something with 60 something in there. I don't know, but it was massive. He doesn't hold the state record because you have to kill the fish in order to classify it, get it classified. You can't measure it
Gotcha.
at sight and then release it, because then how are they supposed to able? So you still have to kill the shark in order to get the actual measurement on it. But no, he you can buy shark tags in Florida still, and catch them and tag them. So
Yeah, but Florida's
sharks
the
in some
fucking
areas,
Wild West.
well, but also Florida has a really healthy shark population,
That's true.
so they can do that. They're not endangered in Florida. They're endangered in other parts of the world, but and there's only certain shark species that you can get tags for, but they've gone under a tagging system because of overfishing them for the fins.
Gotcha.
But yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of different fish out there, and I don't know. I've eaten a couple strange ones, and I don't.
yeah. If
Some
if
were
we ever
bad,
go
some were
back,
good.
if we ever go on another beach trip again, I know of a really cool little spot. It's a public boat launch spot,
Okay.
and everybody fishes it, and it's kind of like, mixed results as to what people are getting from that area. But I would be curious to see if we went out there at like night with just some headlamps, because the water's really clear on the section, and see what we could find. Because there's no saltwater crocodiles in Bama. We'd be fine.
Shit, we could
Um,
catch a gar though.
that's true. We could, but
I'd be
I
down to
know
catch a
that,
gar.
yeah. Another really good spot is in that area is where the bay opens up to the Gulf.
Hmm.
That's where we would go. You went fishing with? Did you go fishing with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went fishing. That's right. We did go fishing off with Captain Dewan
Hmm.
down there, and we just patrolled around there. It's still recovering from the oil spill, though.
Is it
That
really?
was, oh yeah.
Damn.
I mean, when we were down there, remember we barely caught anything. Caught a couple Spanish mackerel, but that was about it.
That was it. Yeah.
Because the big reds aren't coming back yet. They're
Hmm.
still. We went parasailing. This last year when we went parasailing. The guys at the boat said that there's still pockets of oil at the bottom, like just on the bottom of the Gulf. It's still like, it may look fine from the surface and like the beach. There's nothing really washing up anymore. But if you get a big thunderstorm, they will still get pockets of oil washing up on the shore. And like
Really?
if like he jumped out the boat for a second, He jumped out the boat for a second just to cool off. He dove in because it was like 20 feet deep in that area. He dove in, went to the bottom, turned around, pushed off the bottom with his feet. Both of his feet, bottom of them, were caked in oil. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
Damn. Okay.
yeah,
I didn't realize it was still happening.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's still an ongoing struggle for the golf right now. Which is sad because that's like our home. But
I didn't realize that.
yeah, it's kind of screwed.
I don't know. Hopefully they figure everything out with all
World's a
that.
mess. World's a
I'm
mess.
I really, really, really hope that we get some progress on this whole COVID shit because
This was supposed to be the worst week yet.
I I don't know. I just want to see some sort of progress.
This week is supposed to be the turning point where everything's supposed to go onto the decline after this week. Don't know where scientists are getting that number from, but that's just what I've heard.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, I'm being optimistic about it. I hope for the best, but
yeah,
uh
I'm still holding on to May 4th.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I I just hope that within the month we see some progress. That's what I'm hoping
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Um just cuz like I don't know. Like it's really, really, really hard to just like sit and wait and not see any sort of light at the end of the tunnel. And
Yeah.
I'm definitely the person and needs stuff to be happening outside of
Oh
my
yeah.
house. And
Yeah.
I need things to be looking forward to. Like I think it's a healthy mindset to be in. And
I'm starting to turn into that person.
currently, I do not have anything fun planned.
I would have already gone out fishing at these fishing holes I found in Austin. I would have gone down to Lake Travis with my. I would have already bought the bow fishing setup for this bow, converted it, then gone bow fishing so many times at this point. But I'm
I mean,
holding out.
yeah,
I'm just holding out because it's like, yeah, I could buy the rig now, but I have nowhere to go. The only fishing hole that I can go right now is really deeply snake infested with coral snakes. If it was infested with just those corn snakes, I would be out there. But the fact that there's a litter of coral snakes that are just patrolling that area. I say patrolling like they're hunting something, but that are in that area. I'm not going to take those chances.
yeah.
You're not going to necessarily die from a coral snake, but still a nasty
I
venom. Still
don't
a
want to
nasty
fuck with
bite.
snakes. Period.
Yeah,
They're not
exactly.
they're not my cup of tea. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'll avoid them.
I think my dad posted on his Instagram. He might have posted on his Instagram one of the snakes that we saw. I think he might have.
I saw some pictures of y'all on a hike or something.
No, well, that's what we were doing yesterday.
Yeah.
Those we went on the trails and the waterfalls that you saw.
Yeah.
Have I taken you to any of these waterfalls?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Well, I need to take you there one of these days. Um, but yeah, this no, he didn't get the snake in the picture, but I think he did take a picture of the snake. Um, but yeah, so
I gotcha.
it was kind of creepy.
Snakes are weird as fuck, man. Uh, all right. Well, I'm good to wrap this up if you are.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully the world gets back in order. Hopefully we can see some sort of progress. I'm hoping within the month because I definitely just need some finite evidence of being able to look at it and be like, okay, cool. Like we're starting to move. So,
Yeah, yeah, for
um,
sure. I can agree with that.
because I want to get my ass back in some music concerts and I want to come see you and yeah,
Yeah,
I'm ready to be out of
I
school
wouldn't.
as well.
I know. I got to do schoolwork all day tomorrow.
Oh, fun. I got a quiz I
Yeah.
need to turn in tonight and yeah. So my teachers
Yep.
have been real dicks about it because they keep assigning more and more assignments because they assume nobody has work and nobody has anything else going on that's important. So we're just gonna
Give just
shit.
one more side tangent before we
Go
leave.
ahead.
My school. So the way my school. Have I told you about the way my school system works?
No.
So it was told to us by our principal that we would have assignments would go out Monday morning at 9 a.m.
Mhm.
Okay. And we would have until Friday to complete those assignments. Now,
Okay.
your teacher could do one of two things. They could either make the assignment due on Friday or they can make it due on Thursday, give Friday as a makeup day. but the teachers need to have all the assignments graded, or they need to have the previous week's assignments graded before they could post new assignments on Monday. Okay,
Gotcha.
to give us a peace of mind, know what our grades were from last week, so we're not stressing about that going into the new week, right?
Okay.
So what the teachers are doing now is they're making everything due on Thursday and then saying that there's no late grades, so that way they can give themselves an extra day to grade over the weekend. Now keep in mind, these the only that's not like the like I agree. Teachers do get overworked for what they're getting paid, but they're getting paid the exact amount and they're doing maybe 4 days of work. And I say 4 because all they're doing is converting the assignments that we were going to do in class into digital form. And then the reason I say 4 is because they have like, once a day they'll have like an hour of office, what they call office period, where we can FaceTime them or something, right? To talk to them and have if we have any questions or whatever, right? So like in total time, they're working 4 days a week, whereas they used to be working 5 days a week, and then sometimes on the weekends if they need to grade over the weekend. But they're still screwing over the students because they're saying, "Oh, we have families." Like I get it, they have families, but they still had families before this was a thing. You can set aside 3 days to grade digital assignments, which are infinitely, in my opinion, easier to grade than handwritten
I'm
assignments.
sure a lot of the work is done for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like so teachers, that's how they're getting away with it at this point.
I don't know. It's all fucked up. It's annoying.
Yeah,
I would like, honestly, to be back in the classroom opposed to
same,
this.
same. Take it from a senior in high school.
Yeah.
This is not how I wanted to spend the last quarter of my
Take it
senior
essentially
year of
from
high
a
school.
senior in college.
That too.
Oh, God.
Well, but I have more emotional investment in this
Oh,
than I
yeah,
think
for
you
sure.
do. Yeah,
But holy shit. Like, I'm about to be out, and I would rather be in the classroom than
just to
having
get an
the
understanding. Yeah,
just a fucking nuisance of
yeah.
assignments whenever I get back from work. But I don't know. All right. Well, that was episode 9. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Don't forget, we're also on audio only on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play, as well as if you're watching this on video format on YouTube. Thank you. Um, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
links are all in
Uh,
the description down below.
Links are in the description. Subscribe. If you want the bell, that's cool. If not, that's also cool. If you just want to comment, hey, go fuck yourself. That's cool too.
I
We
personally like Taco Bell, so I
Yeah.
like bells. So it's up to you.
So I mean, if you like the belt, then ring it. If not, then don't. Do whatever the hell you want. Live your own life. But anyway, we'll have another episode back next Tuesday evening,
Yep.
Tuesday night, and we're just gonna continue doing this because I mean it's fun. Hopefully, someone's entertained by it. I know Mark's listening, but yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. Let's end this episode before we continue.
All right. Peace.
Peace.